Welcome back to Simple Hoops.
Yes, sir. I'm Rocky.
And I'm Ryan.
And today we're going through our top 10 power forward list.
Almost done with the position rankings.
We're so close to breaking down the 2023 players in terms of positions. Now,
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I didn't know where I was going.
Took a long direction to get there.
It takes me a minute to speak sometimes. No, but we have to preface every time we're doing 2K positions. That's why it's a little silly and goofy.
Hey.
Like DeMar being here.
The more I say it,
the less I like it. No, but I think everyone else is pretty reasonable power forward. So looking at this list,
DeMar played a little bit of power, but I mean, 2K.
I guess he'd be a small forward.
No, because in 2K they had Zach at small forward.
I know. Who knows? No, because they've been playing Pat all year. So.
Yeah.
But who cares? We're going by 2K, so You know
how that goes, boys and girls.
Bring it up with Ronnie, as we say.
Name some of your honorable mentions, Ronnie.
Yes, my honorable mentions. I just have 2. We have about 15 guys in our spreadsheet that I made.
Take the credit. Come on now.
Yep.
You deserve it.
I have about... I'll add a third guy last minute just because I feel like he deserves respect. Another Nuggets guy who doesn't make the top 10, unfortunately.
Interesting.
I wanted to put Aaron Gordon in my honorable mentions. He almost didn't make it. Just because his stats don't stand out. And actually, his points went down in the playoffs. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
But his impact on the floor, especially as that defensive wing for them, was really big this year. So I think he deserves a lot of credit. 2 other guys I have in my honorable mentions.
Yep.
I don't know.
Go ahead and say one. Dude hates him. Come on.
Who? Paulo?
Draymond Green.
Oh, Draymond Green isn't even considered.
Not even an honorable mention, eh?
No.
I'd put him as my honorable mention.
We hate Draymond here.
Right? I hate him. Everybody hates him. But he does his role the way he's supposed to.
No, I added him to our spreadsheet just because I was like...
Damn, he scores nothing. Sorry for the language.
Yeah. I added him to the spreadsheet just because I thought that he deserves to be up here. But when you average 8 and 9 points, I'm sorry. I don't know. So he didn't make my honorable mentions. My 2 honorable mentions are Paulo Banchero and Jeremy Grant.
Paulo is one of my honorable mentions. And I also have Draymond Green, which we kind of discussed.
Yes.
It's a respect thing with him. I don't like him, but he does his thing. And my last honorable mention is Cat. Karl Anthony Towns did not make it on. Now, of course he would. I was having some issues with the games played. Just didn't get the games I wanted to see.
Yeah. Cat did make my list. I won't tell you where.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little suspense. But Cat's definitely tough because he played, I think, 29 games.
Yeah.
But I do remember him having some impactful games at the end of the season.
Yeah, I know he did end up sneaking. Did he sneak into the playoffs? Did he play playing games?
He played
playoff
in the playoffs.
games?
Yeah, he played against the Nuggets. But those are honorable mentions.
Yep.
Let's go straight into number 10. Who you got?
Number 10, I got somebody you couldn't put on the list, but you said you wanted to. I've got Aaron Gordon at my number 10 spot.
Gordon at 10.
You've already made my case for the exact reasoning that he is that wing defender they needed.
Yes.
And he's the piece that completed their team.
He is.
To get over the hump. I know he doesn't score that much, but he's a great defender, and he does a little bit of everything out there on that court.
Statistically, he doesn't stand out.
Yeah. Also, he was one of the power forwards that actually played some real games. Played games, went deep in the playoffs, and I wanted to give him my respect here at number 10.
Yeah, a couple of these guys for me just didn't play, and it was so hard to rank them.
Yeah, and that's why Cap fell off.
It is nice that Aaron Gordon played.
Because I love Aaron Gordon.
Yeah. Anyways, my number 10 is Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
So he massively fell for me. Obviously, in a normal year, in an abnormal year where he plays.
In a year he actually plays more.
He'd be number 3 on this list.
Yep. Yeah.
But
easily number 3.
He didn't play.
Nope. And he's got some drama off the court.
Listen, Mariah Hills, whoever her name is, she got some problems with him. But no, he played 29 games this season. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
His team was on pace to make the playoffs, and then he gets injured, and boom, bada bing.
And that's the thing with the Pelicans, dude. Because we talked about Brandon recently. He didn't play a lot of games. If they could just play games, think about how good they would be.
And it's just like Brandon Ingram. The minutes he played, he was very good. He was a top 3 scorer on this list.
Yep.
It was just very dominant. As
Zion is, yep.
But he did not play at all. So I can't really include him.
Yep.
That high, at least. So he gets the bottom of my list at number 10. I had to put him on here just because the 29 games he played, he was dominant.
And that's my reasoning for having him at number 9. Same reason as you. I definitely think he's more valuable than Aaron Gordon is.
Yeah.
And I cut Cat off. He didn't play enough games. But I had to include Zion just because how dominant he was
in those
games he played. I won't go too deep into it because we've been talking about Zion for...
Well, at number 9, I have Cat, you mentioned. They both played 29 games this season. Only difference is Zion didn't come back when he... I think he was like... They were kind of teasing us with it, and they could have made a short little play-in run. Cat did come back.
Yeah.
His last few games in the season were really good. I remember him having like a game winner and stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of pushed them to keep that play-in spot. And then
the playoffs,
he kind of fell apart.
Like he normally does whenever he rarely makes the playoffs. But before we move on.
It wasn't a massive dip. I mean, he goes down 2 points. His rebounds go up. Blocks go up. So in certain categories.
Let's look at that efficiency.
Oh, I don't even want to see that.
I know that dropped.
Not really.
What's that 3
4
point?
points? 3? Okay, 3 by 11.
He's the greatest 3-point shooter ever. He changed the game with his 3-point. Now say his catchphrase. Come on. I know you know.
Cat?
Yeah.
I don't know his
Come on, our little
catchphrase.
Forgot it. The interview. We said it for so long.
Oh, what is it? It's a movie.
It's a movie. I forgot how it goes.
Oh, no, I forgot it. It's something about a movie.
Life's a movie.
Oh, this is what movies are made of.
This is what movies are made of.
But yeah, Cat made number 9 on my list. I felt like he still needed to be included just because we used to consider him a top 3 center.
And then he desperately fell off the face.
Now he's fallen off. I do think he's in store for maybe a trade and then a comeback season.
I'm waiting for a trade for him.
I think he gets traded. He massively changes his game one way or the other, hopefully in a good direction.
He'd also fit better as like one of those second, third stars that fit on a contending team.
Yes, which at this point, he's not the best player on the Timberwolves.
No,
let's be honest.
No, Ant is, but I think he would fit in a role where contending, but not number 1.
Now, at number 8, I have Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay.
Your new Celtic.
At number 8, I have Evan Mobley.
Whoa. Actually, okay.
That's a fair. I was struggling where to put Evan.
Not a big difference than what I have, but it was hard because I wanted to put Evan Mobley super high.
Because he's so young and he's such a good defender, and he can do a little bit of everything. He doesn't have that 3-pointer down yet, but he played 79 games. Great defender. Can score the ball, can rebound. I think this is a good place for him at the age he is right now.
He does a lot of different things on the court, which is nice, and he shows shades of just being a unicorn.
Yeah.
Not like a unicorn, but like just does everything as a big, which you don't normally get in your bigs. But I have Kristaps Porzingis just because he had a really good season.
Tingus
Pingus had a really good season.
His career season.
Yes, a career season, mostly just because he played, 65 games?
Yep.
I really like Kristaps Porzingis, He's one of my favorite 2K players.
I also like him because he's a Boston Celtic.
But I just looking ahead at this list, some of these guys have better stats, or better roles.
Yep.
And because of that, he fell to 8, not because of anything bad, like the guys below him, just because the guys above him were better.
Yep.
So.
And at number 7, I have Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay, and I have Evan Mobley.
Yep.
So we did a little switch.
And I think there's nothing wrong either way.
Whoa. Don't be doing that to me. Don't be doing that.
I think either way you look at it, it's fine. Both of them do.
Well, here's my reason for having Evan Mobley higher. Played a massive role in the Cavs being a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
They're one of the best defenses
in the regular season.
The whole regular season, yes.
Reference regular season.
He was a big part of that.
Yeah.
Because as much as Jaren Allen is a really good defensive, presence in the paint, Evan Mobley can be that guy who's all over.
Yep, the Twin Towers.
That number 4. And so I think that played a big role.
Yeah.
And he's a top 3 rebounder in this list, both in playoffs and regular season.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys on the list weren't really great rebounders.
Nope.
So I think that counts for something.
And then my only thing with Kristaps is just that he's more polished. He's been in the league longer. He knows what he's doing on offense. He grabs the rebounds. And he can shoot the 3, which is a huge, huge deal as a power forward. And that's the only reason that it just gave him a little nod over him.
Yeah.
But Evan Mobley has the possibility to be top 3 on this list
Oh, in a
very
couple
soon.
years, yeah.
Very, very soon.
I think the main knock you can have on Evan Mobley is he fell apart in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Him and Jared Allen kind of just disappeared.
Yeah.
And Donovan Mitchell. The whole team,
Cavs team, let's be real here.
they just disappeared in that awful performance. But speaking of the Knicks-Cavs series, at number 6, I have Julius Randle.
Interesting. And at number 6, I have, the more I say it, the more I hate it. I got DeMar DeRozan at number 6.
You have DeMar DeRozan at number 6. Interesting. Here's the reason why I thought Julius Randle deserved to be here. He was a great regular season guy, but again, fell apart.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because we talked about Cavs players falling apart. Julius Randle fell apart.
He fell apart. Jalen Brunson went.
Jalen Brunson, and then RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett doesn't do anything but stay inconsistently consistent.
And then D-Rose and Evan Fournier were just... No, but Julius Randle fell apart completely.
Yeah.
He had... Let me just tell you all the stuff he dropped in. Dropped 9 points.
Yep.
Field goal percentage dropped 8. 3-point percentage dropped 9. Free throw percentage dropped 5. Turnover went up by 1. And rebounds and assists decreased as well.
Yep.
Like, everything decreased except for, like, steals and blocks.
Yeah.
So, 25 and 10 in the regular season is really good.
Yep.
And is right around, if not better, than DeMar. Because DeMar averaged 24.
Yep.
And not as many rebounds. But Julius Randle fell apart.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how you could put him so high when year after year he just falls apart.
With DeMar, mid-range assassin.
I do know.
You do know DeMar DeRozan, mid-range assassin. He does a little bit of everything. He can score. He gets to the free throw line at an insane rate.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if it was this year or last year, but I've never talked about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
His clutch shots, I don't remember if it was this year.
It was last year.
Or last year. Doesn't matter. This dude is clutch.
Yeah, he is.
Not the best.
Crazy that you put him at 6.
Yeah, but I'll give you a reason why. Because at number 5, I have Julius Randle.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pit them against each other really quick. You already talked about Julius Randle's issues. Obviously, he has them in the playoffs. But I just overall I think he does more for the Knicks than what DeMar does for the Bulls.
What?
Because let's be real here. Were the Bulls even in the playoffs?
No.
They were in the play-in.
Yeah.
Julius Randle got his team to the playoffs, of course, with other help, other people on his team that are really good.
Do you think Julius Randle's the best player on the Knicks?
No.
Okay.
Obviously not. But he's definitely a huge role. He made it into the playoffs. Yeah, he struggled, but 25, 10, and 4 in the regular season is extremely impressive. With good efficiency, he played 77 games. I think right here at 5, I think it fits here. You could drop him 1, but 5 is where he landed on my list.
That's fair. Well, DeMar made it even higher on my list because at number 5, I have Pascal Siakam.
Pascal.
Yeah.
Wow.
He fell this year.
Wow.
And I really didn't know where to put him.
Yeah. There's a good bit of places I could have.
Pascal, DeMar, and Julius Randle were 3 guys that I just didn't know because none of them had an impact in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Julius Randle obviously fell off. Pascal and DeMar failed to lead their teams to the playoffs. Pascal being the best player on his team, whereas DeMar isn't. But he really disappointed. I mean, yeah, he played a lot of games. He averaged the same amount of points as DeMar, 24 points. Well, I just feel like I don't know what to expect with Pascal anymore because we kept, for some reason, treating him like he's going to be a number 1 option. Obviously, he isn't.
Yep.
And now we keep talking about, is he going to get traded? Is he not? He doesn't want to get traded. He's not going to stint anywhere. I just don't know how to feel about Pascal anymore. I don't know. I really don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I just simply think that DeMar is better. And it's not much of a knock on Pascal.
Yeah.
But I kind of alluded to it. Number 4, I have DeMar DeRozan.
And number 4, I have Jaren Jackson Jr.
Whoa.
Which I love him as a player. He can score as a 7-footer. Is he 7? He's very close to 7 foot.
6'10", 6'11".
Maybe. But he can shoot the ball, as we know. Reigning defensive player of the year. 3 blocks a game, 1 steal.
Tough.
I think he's phenomenal. But I do have one more guy over him on my list.
Well, at number 4, I have DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
I just think that of DeMar, Pascal, and Julius, I trust him to be a better scorer. out of all those guys. He seems more like a leader.
That-
Even though I would say that Zach LaVine's a better player this year.
Yeah.
Although last year I'd say DeMar was better.
Yeah, definitely.
But this year I'd say Zach was still better. But
I do like that point, though. Out of these guys we've talked about, DeMar is probably the most leader of this group.
And the person I like the most in the playoffs, I mean,
there's LeBron, like, destroyed the Raptors for, like, 100,000
Okay.
years.
but let's think about it. Julius Randle sucks in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. Pascal, I haven't seen him in the playoffs in so long.
It's been, like, 2 years. Come on.
He was young in the finals run.
Yeah.
He barely played. And then towards, like, the end, he started getting minutes.
Yeah.
And then last year was just a disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, they almost had the 3-0 comeback, so I guess that actually is pretty good. But I trust DeMar DeRozan more.
Interesting.
I think Toronto is just a bad situation for him. Like, it was just way too long.
And that's what I'm going to get into with my number 3, who is Pascal Siakam. He fell to my 3. And I just, out of the Pascal, Julius Randle, DeMar, he was my favorite between those 3.
That's fair.
And then him and Jaren Jackson were the toss-up between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But like you just said, I think Toronto is that issue.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know what they want to do with their guys. They just lost Freddie.
They basically have 5 other Pascals.
Yeah.
Just big wings.
I think
barely
if he finds if he gets traded and finds a good environment,
I
I would prefer to have him over the guys below him. Just because he can do a little bit of everything. He's a defender. He can shoot the 3-ball somewhat, but he can pass, grab rebounds, score.
Yeah.
And I think he just needs a change of scenery. Same thing with Cat. I think if he got a scenery change, he would flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he could be that 2 or 3 on a very deep contending team.
Yeah.
And
that's become an Aaron Gordon type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a little bit more offense.
Gives up on the number 1 option, just becomes a glue piece.
Yeah.
I definitely think so.
Which I think if Kawhi and Kyle Lowry, if they were still in that same Toronto situation, with him developed and them still being who they were when they won the championship, that would be the perfect role for him.
No, 100%. But personally, at number 3, I had to put Jaren Jackson Jr. here.
Yeah, and I
just
respect
think
that one.
that he had a better impact. They were the number 2 seed.
Yep.
He was Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, a defensive beast when he's not fouling, obviously.
Did you hear about the Memphis Grizzly announcer dude, like, cheating with his blocks and stuff at home?
Yes.
I didn't know if that was real, but I remember early on in the season, like, at home he would get like 4 or 5 blocks, and on the road he was getting like 2.
I wasn't sure if that was Jaren or not, but I think it was.
It was Jaren, but I never knew if it was real or not.
No, yeah, there was a conspiracy theory in the middle of the season that at home Jaren Jackson would be considered for more blocks than away games.
On the road.
Like, they would just call it when it really wasn't a block. That was interesting. I mean, he had 3 blocks per game. That is a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Now, my other only knock for the reason him falling, of course, Pascal didn't play in the playoffs, but he did. His efficiency.
He did dip.
His blocks. They all kind of fell. Granted, job.
That's why I didn't really care for the dip, just because
the Grizzlies
the Grizzlies were meant to fall apart.
The Grizzlies' situation come playoff time did play a part.
And let's be fair, he was going against the 3rd best player in the playoffs this year, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say, like Jokic, Boog, Butler, Davis. So, 4th best player.
Then Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Grant
Derek
Williams.
White.
Oh, well, no, let's talk about Jalen Green, Sengun.
Yeah, Jalen Green was the best player in the playoffs this year.
Hey, if he played in the playoffs, could have been a chance.
Hey, they're not making it. Anyways, Jaren Jackson Jr. hits my number 3 spot just because the defense is unbelievable.
He's also one of those guys that could shoot up drastically.
Oh, 100%. I think he'll be a number 2 option.
Yeah.
I think he has more potential than Pascal.
Yeah, for sure.
So
and
he's still young.
Off the top of your head, is it 2019 he got drafted?
It was a couple of years ago. I actually really don't remember.
I don't know either. It's gonna bother me. It's 2019 or is he Trae Young and Luka?
I think he is Trae Young and Luka draft.
2018, yep.
It was 2018.
It was Trae and Luka, number 4.
Where was he drafted at?
Memphis, number 4.
He was drafted number 4. Dang, I don't remember that.
I don't either. All
I
I
thought-
remember is Trae Young and Luka.
I thought the Kings had the 4th pick between
No, they got Marvin at 2.
Marvin Bagley was number
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
And then 3 was Luka, and it got traded for Trae.
Yeah. Anyways,
Glad we got that figured out. That was gonna bug me.
back to the list. You know how it is. I think we got the same 1 and 2.
Yep.
But let's go to number first. Let's go with 2 first.
We're doing number 2. Number
Yeah.
2 is the Slim Reaper, Kevin Durant.
Yes, Kevin Durant gets number 2.
More
I'm
like-
gonna be honest with you. I did not want to put
Yeah.
him here.
More like Kevin can't stay on a team.
Ooh. I'm just gonna let it be silent.
Laugh at my joke, bro.
No, I really didn't want to put him on this list just because he played like half the season.
Yeah.
And
47 games.
you know, I almost was tempted to put Jaren above him.
The only thing is when he plays, it is
Is-
so efficient.
Yes.
He can get whatever he wants on the court.
thinking back to Brooklyn, he was like really dominant the
Yep.
first half.
Yep.
And was like
He was
with some of the best
yeah.
defense in the league.
Yeah. I remember early on he was getting those blocks left and right.
Yeah. DPOY candidate almost.
He was also in the MVP talks early on.
Yeah, he was. Well, that fell apart.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play much in the second half of the season. However, and the reason why it solidified him at number 2 for me,
Yeah.
his playoff performances were
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
In a weird way, it felt like it wasn't good because we expect so much for
Yeah.
KD.
And
but
Devin Booker was just so good in this year's
it's
playoffs.
torching.
It like put Kevin Durant in a situation where, man, Kevin Durant's really the second option right now.
But he averaged the same amount of points in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
he gets it
was-
quietly too. Some nights he'll just have 35 and you won't even know.
Yeah, a quiet 29 is insane.
Yep.
Because he just had really good playoff performances, and it kept him alive for as long as they could against the reigning champs, Nuggets.
The Nugs.
But at number 1,
You get the honor.
the unanimous number 1 on the power forward list.
Should be everyone's unanimous number 1.
The best player in the playoffs in the 2 games he played. Giannis Antetokounmpo
Yep.
gets
Hey.
the top of our list.
And the reason he gets the top because when you fail, it's not really failing. It's just learning, and you never fail in life because you just learn from it.
You've somehow been able to quote that Giannis quote every video we have done. No, Giannis.
And I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I can.
Listen, if Giannis isn't the best player in the league, he's the second best.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets at the
Yeah.
top of the
He's
power
probably
forward list.
second behind Jason Tatum.
You heard it here first. Jason Tatum, best player in the league.
It's Jokic, Giannis, everybody else.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Curry,
how it's
Tatum.
probably the past few years, really. It's just been Giannis and Jokic up there
Yeah.
at that
And
top
if
spot.
you would have asked me before the Nuggets won the playoffs,
Yeah, it
I
still
would have
would've
said
been.
Giannis. Giannis has been my best player in the
Really?
league for a couple of years now.
He has taken it over for
Yeah.
those back-to-back MVPs put him at the top.
Yeah.
And then I think Jokic is. It took a little bit of time, but he's taken it over.
But do I even need to say it? 31, 12,
6
6,
assists.
1, 1. 4 turnovers. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I didn't
but
see that.
He does keep the ball in his hands. Majority of.
Actually, he really doesn't deserve to be here. 27% from 3.
Yeah. Might as
I
well
mean,
put.
I thought he was improving.
Might as well put Zion up. Zion
Zion
at the top.
deserves to be number 1, obviously, because he has a worse 3 than
Hey,
Giannis.
Hey.
No, but Giannis, the reigning power. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
This video is falling apart. Like and subscribe if you know who we are. Put Simple Hoops on top in the comments.
Or something like that. All right. Later, guys.
Adios.
Gotta end the recording.